But I'm live now. I'm live. I'm officially live. Did I do it? Well, that's weird. That's a weird way to start YouTube streams. I had to okay, I got a notification on my phone. We're good. We're there. Interesting. All right. We're in. We're good. We're set. Hello, if anybody is here. If not, that's fine. To put this out at the very beginning, since I'm officially live, the goal today is to kind of talk over my thought processes I've had since I started this idea of creating dungeons in Dungeons and Dragons that are based off of the dungeons in Zelda. And very specifically, I'm gonna talk through my thoughts on what would change, what should stay the same, because I'd like to stay as faithful as possible to the originals. And then after making those, I'll make decisions on if I were to release this in some form, how to make it legally distinct, because that's an entire deal. More out of fear from Nintendo as opposed to fear out of Wizards of the Coast, because I can handle that. That's the goal. That is going to be the goal, is to go through what the process is. I have questions of what I might do, and if anyone sneaks on, we'll have a discussion about whether it is good or bad for different things. There's some question marks in here on whether it'd be good or bad. But let's just get a start going. The first step for me is I think there we go. First big thing for me is that we're going through all the dungeons. So this is Great Deku Tree, Dodongo Cavern, Jabu Jabu's Belly, Forest Temple, Fire Temple, Water Temple, Shadow Temple, Spirit Temple, and then Ganon's Castle at the end. So everything's going to be touched on when I go through this. The goal is to play each one on stream, and then as we go through each room, talk about the layout, what the goal of each room is, whether it's a puzzle room or it's the fight room, whether it's just a room to explore in, a room to try to get to the other side, but it's not quite as straightforward. Each dungeon is going to be balanced around the concept of having 4 players, which I think is typical for Dungeons and Dragons. And then each dungeon is going to have a separate level associated with it. So, I would think the Great Deku Tree would be a first level dungeon. The party gets together, they do their stuff, and then they go to the Great Deku Tree, or whatever I end up calling it at the end. And then from there, I have to make a decision of how do these dungeons scale. And I kind of have 2 philosophies here with it. That either they increase by 1, so Great Deku Tree's level 1, Dawn Cavern's level 2. And so by the end, you're level 9 with, what is that? 4th level spells? Is 3 second, 5 is third. No, 5th level spells. So you're able to go through all of Ganon's Castle with 5th level spells, which I think is, for a lot of people who play Dungeons and Dragons, kind of the capstone for how you play the game. But separately, the games I play tend to go all the way to 20. I say tend as if I've had more than one, but the one big campaign I've had has gone from level 2 to level 20. And the current one, we are going from level 1 to level 20. So the other thought I had is increasing each dungeon's difficulty level by 2. And this allows for things to get crazier in terms of the types of enemies you can have, because I'll have to think about making enemies as well. As well as just the traps, and the world can feel like they're actually getting more dangerous on a global scale. Because if this is an entire campaign, it should feel like it's an entire campaign getting more difficult. So those are the 2 decisions I'm gonna have to make. We'll talk more about that as we go. I had the realization that there are 2 mini dungeons, and there might be more that I'm not remembering at all. Which is the Ice Cavern and then the Well. And whether I make those as separate dungeons to fit in between, because it would be, Ice Cavern would be before Water Temple, and then the Well is before Shadow Temple. which based on the order is actually really interesting that they have two breakups with two dungeons that are next to each other, which I just think is fascinating. But I'll have to make a decision whether the well and the ice cavern, I slot into the water temple and shadow temple respectively, or if I make them separate dungeons entirely. Because like it's kind of hard to treat the well as a part of the shadow temple, just because of how different it is, and the fact of how in Ocarina of Time it's a child Link dungeon as opposed to a adult Link dungeon. We'll talk about that and whether that fits and if that makes sense. When it comes to puzzles, my goal is to leave them untouched for the most part, with the exception of like dungeon items and stuff. We'll talk about that in a second, but to try to make puzzles feel like they're from Zelda. Part of the issue with puzzles in Dungeons and Dragons is that there are so many spells and class abilities that players can find ways around those puzzles. I think that's good. I think that is a fun thing to do. And so when I make the puzzles in this process, I am going to ignore the fact that players can break them. And then after making the puzzle, then we can go through. If I have anyone who is watching that has an idea for how you break this puzzle, I want to know this idea. And then we can decide whether that is a fun thing to do and we want to keep that, or if we want to find a way to discourage that kind of thing. For the most part, I'm going to be happy with players breaking the puzzles. I think that's great. We'll also have to make the decision on whether we want new monsters to be created. Whether I'm going to completely make new beasts and stuff for these dungeons. Because right off the bat, there's only like 2 enemies in the Great Deku Tree that I think have perfect, like, analogous words are hard, with perfect copies in Dungeons and Dragons that exist already. Like, I don't know how you would work making Skulltulas, whether it's the wall Skulltulas or like the ones that hang down. Those don't exist in Dungeons and Dragons as far as I'm aware, with creatures that like are stationary, that don't move, and have requirements for how you can hurt them. Perhaps a level per dungeon or 2 levels per dungeon, and maybe do a mix, including its external narrative and mini dungeon locations. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. This is continued on. I agree. Shadow Slipper. It's maybe do a mix. Yeah, probably do a mix. It kind of depends on like live stream chat on my phone. We're doing some tests, so I'm sorry if things aren't completely perfect here. I have no idea how to do this. I'm able to see it here. But yes, I agree. Just possibly having a mix would be good as well. I think maybe what could be done is for those first 3 is maybe leave them as oh, but levels go by really fast. Maybe we'll play it by ear a little bit, where we have based on like the enemies that are created for each dungeon, we kind of calculate XP from there, and then see, would they get a level up pretty quickly from each dungeon? Maybe that's a good idea. I like the idea where you hit level 5 and you pull the Master Sword and enter adult side of the game, so you can find the step into a harder tier of play. I do like that. That would be good. I always say as a DM, we are problem designers, not solution makers. That is the player's job. Yeah, I love that. I think that is the best way to go about that. And I definitely think as I go through with each of these puzzles, it will just be, we make, we're just gonna be making puzzles. We're gonna make some problems, and then we'll let the players figure it out. I do like the idea of trying to come up with alternative solutions, just so I know that hey, the players have some sneaky way. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to kind of hand wave if like, oh, if a puzzle can be broken, yeah, no, it can be broken. That's fine. I think that's great. Continuing on, I do really want to create just like 100% make new enemies and new monster designs for uh each of the mini bosses and bosses of each dungeon. Because I think Zelda bosses are so kind of integral to how the dungeon designs work. I want to make sure that each dungeon feels unique and it doesn't feel like we're kind of rehashing. Uh, we're re. I want it to feel unique and special to each dungeon. I don't want you to be able to go like, oh, in the fire temple, it is just a red dragon, which is cool. I think it'd be cool. I love fighting dragons, but I want it to feel special. I want it to be, oh, very specifically, it's a volcano dragon or whatever way to make it distinct. And I want to be able to use like unique mechanics of like, oh, the each turn, the dragon's going to burrow if we're going continuing off of Volvagia. Some turns it is underneath and kind of telegraphing where it's going to pop up, and then the players are able to act accordingly, hold their actions, do whatever. Because I want these to feel more like large puzzles as opposed to big combats. That's just me. And we can also, as we reach each one, we'll talk about how it works. Uh, one of the thoughts I had for making these is I want to ensure that these dungeons are always possible to finish. Because yes, we have ways of like, oh, all the spellcasters are able to break a lot of the things, which I think is great and it's wonderful. I want to ensure that all the dungeons are possible for 4 human champion fighters. If for some reason your party has like your party decides I just want to be a bunch of fighters and we're just going to play these dungeons, I want it to be doable. And I want it to be doable either with magic items or without magic items. I want it to just be a fun dungeon experience. Give Volvagia, I'm assuming you're talking about Volvagia, a vulnerability to bludgeoning, and he takes the stun condition if hit just right. I agree. I like that. I think that'd be fun for Volvagia specifically. I do. I'll have to look into because I know. I think it's Pathfinder has like the called shot mechanic, which I love. I think it's really cool. I don't know if that's the way I'd want to handle like because for all of the bosses in Zelda, they typically have like, oh, it's the eyeball as the weakness. And I want to try to stray away from that a little bit because it doesn't quite fit Dungeons and Dragons combat and how that kind of flows. But if I were to include it, like for early on with the Great Deku Tree, it's kind of hard to give Goma a different weakness than the eyeball. So I'm trying to think of ways to include combat mechanics like that without feeling like it's too gamey. Where like, oh, if you want to hit the eyeball, it's a disadvantage. But even if you don't hit the eyeball, you're gonna hit the creature most likely, and it's gonna hurt. So it shouldn't be quite just a full-on miss. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that as we reach each boss and how that works. But please feel free to give any ideas you all have on that. The 2 other points I want to talk about before I like fully just kind of start trying to figure things out. Maybe we just do the Great Deku Tree today, honestly, because this is going by way faster than I thought it would. We might just make the Great Deku Tree. As Spider-Climb loses grip after taking so much damage around, or a crit, maybe has to make a strength save. I like that. I think that'd be fun. That'd be a fun way to go about it. I also have a question separate from like the Zelda stuff. How do we sound audio wise? Do things sound balanced? Is Ocarina of Time too loud? And we'll check that as we actually play through the beginning chunk of it as well. Am I too loud? Is game too loud? Am I too quiet? Game too quiet? Just let me know. No You're not gonna harm me by telling me if something sounds wrong. I want to fix it early on while I can. The other thing I want to try to figure out is whether or not to include dungeon items, because those are staples of Zelda dungeons, and they're kind of important in terms of how puzzles function in The Legend of Zelda. But there are so many instances where I hear you fine, but I can't hear the game at all. Okay, that's important to know. Thank you. All right, let's see. Why can't you hear the game? It says video capture device is on. You should. Advanced audio properties. Oh, you know what? It's because it's not coming through that. Okay. We'll do this. Hopefully, bam. Hopefully, you should be able to hear the game. I have no idea how loud it is because I'm separately making it semi-quiet because I want to be able to hear myself regardless of whether it needs to be louder or quiet. Hopefully you should be able to hear it now. But yes, I always do the AC of 12 and then plus 3 to hit the eye. And if the dice are in between 12 and 14 with the boss. I like that. I like that idea. That might be what we do for, like, Goma. We'll have to decide, like, balance-wise what the ACs and stuff should be. But I like the idea of it being, I want to hit the eyeball. Okay, if you want to aim for the eyeball, the ACs can be higher. But if you would have hit Goma, if you weren't aiming for the eye, you still hit and do damage. I like that. I like that idea. I think that would be how we would go about it, for Goma specifically. Now you can hear the game. Cool. Good. Great. We can hear it. We're good. Hopefully it's not too loud, too quiet, but that's good. We're set. I do want to change the on-screen the text for chat. Because black on this dark gold color is not very readable. How do I do that? YouTube chat. Can I change text color? If I change text color, will it just change automatically for me? Text settings! I would like it to white speed. Okay. Chat's gone for a second, but that's fine. The final thought for me, in my head, actually I don't think I fully worked through. For dungeon items, I don't know if I whether want to include them or not. They're integral to, like, Zelda dungeons, and how Zelda dungeons work. But with how many abilities people have, I don't know if it would function correctly. And, like, rangers have bows to start. I don't want to take away the ranger's bow just to make it an item in the forest temple. I think that's lame. So either we have to make dungeon items something separate, or we don't worry about dungeon items in every dungeon. Like bombs, I think we can make work. Where a player has a bomb bag and a bunch of bombs that they can light and then use. I think that's fine. And I think separately, the barbarians and the fighters and stuff can still try to hit the walls and break them with their weapons. I think that's good too. But I don't think you could do bow. You might be able to get away with boomerang, but boomerang's a weapon in Dungeons and Dragons, so probably not. The other idea is you can make them magic weapons. So like, oh, when you reach the forest temple, the ranger or the fighter or whoever has the bow gets a magic bow that deals magic damage and separately is capable of turning on and off different switches. I think that could work. I don't think that's a terrible idea. And that gives instances of like, oh, Fire Temple, you get a Megaton Hammer. That is a magic hammer that does extra stuff and can break things, can do siege damage maybe. I think that's probably how it would work. Each one is that each one is a magic weapon, if it's a weapon type thing. I just don't know how it would work for making puzzles happen. And then there's an instance of like, oh, if I give them a magic bow, I'm gonna turn the game down a little bit. I have a feeling it's too loud. If I give a magic bow to a party of 4 wizards, are the wizards gonna be able to use it? And then does that kind of ruin the effect of having a magic bow? I don't know. We'll think about it as we reach each one. The final detail for me is keys. Oop, I'm sorry, I hit the mic. How am I gonna make keys work? Do I even try to make keys work? I have to, right? When we come into the instance of rogues are able to just unlock doors. And most of the time with puzzles, I'm fine with you breaking the whole entire format and stuff, but it'll be difficult to make dungeons function if rogues are able to lockpick every door. I could see maybe having the boss door. You can't lockpick the boss door. Like, that's not possible. That's not an option. And so they have to go through the entire dungeon and find the boss key. I almost wonder if that's how you would do it. If you have a rogue, you can get through any door without having to worry about the keys. And that's fine. But you do need to go around through the dungeon looking for the boss key. I'll have to think about that one. Keys might be... And we won't be touching keys right away. I don't think a key shows up in the game until the forest temple. That's not something I have to worry about right away. That's something that's in my mind. Arcane Lock would work, at least until they get knocked. That's true! Arcane Lock would work. And that'd be a fun way to do some of the locks. I definitely think... Yeah, I think for the first 2, Arcane Lock would be fun. Oh, wait, but you don't get... You get Arcane Lock at 2nd level? That wouldn't come up, unfortunately. I do like Arcane Lock, though. I think just randomly having some of the doors being Arcane Locked as opposed to, like, a physical lock would be fun. Because then sometimes the wizard or the sorcerer gets to kind of quickly unlock a door instead of the rogue. Which I think is important to let other classes feel useful when it comes to the dungeon delving stuff. Because rogue gets a lot of it. Rogue gets to do a lot of dungeon delving and having a lot of dungeon delving abilities. I think other classes should do it too. Have the wizard randomly pick a lock. Let the barbarian break a door down. I think that's fun. I think it's pretty much it for stuff I wanted to think about. I think an important part for me is, while I want to try to keep it as one-to-one as possible, I think I want to add on each dungeon as well. Because, like, 1, this is an older game. This game came out a year before I was born. So, there are limitations to it. And they are perfectly fine limitations. I'm in love with this game. I have no issues with it. But I think if I'm given a chance to add stuff to this game, I want to add stuff. And I don't know if I'd be adding entire rooms or if I'd be adding entire things, but I want to add lore to each one. I want to give more on top of everything. But whatever the theme of each dungeon is, I want to expand upon it, I think. And I have ideas for the Great Deku Tree, and we'll get there as I start playing through it, because I think we're going to be going through the Great Deku Tree today. I think I can do that. I'm excited. I think maybe I just go ahead and start as we go through. As I go through, feel free to bring up ideas, ask me questions. I am down to talk about anything and everything as we do this. Because I want this to be the best kind of material that I can give. As a note, I will probably stop, because if we're going to go through with the Great Deku Tree, I'll probably stop once we beat the Great Deku Tree and then talk for a bit about it. That won't be the end of my work. I will probably continue to work on what the Great Deku Trees, like Dungeons and Dragons, looks like, how it functions, and then I will attempt to put out a video of like the entire thing and talk about everything about each one. Just because I think it'd be fun, and I want to try to get better at video making, because I haven't done too much of it. I've mainly done like Let's Plays on a separate channel, and those aren't exactly editing heavy. So I want to get used to actually making videos besides YouTube Shorts and TikToks and stuff like that. That's the goal. That's just to lay it out. That is my plan. Let's do it. Let us play Ocarina of Time and go through and talk about each dungeon. I'm excited. This will be fun. For the time being, we'll just name myself Link. Because that's who he is. This is Link. It's been a while since I've beaten this game. I helped one of my friends go through this game before, and that was really fun. The Great Deku Tree? Talking to me? My goodness. I also need to figure out whether I want to make it an entire adventure. Where you get like a prologue like this. And you actually go through and adventure to each dungeon. Or if I just want to make the dungeons isolated, separate from everything. Which is possible. Definitely comes into gray areas if I were to ever to release it and have an adventure that goes through every single step of Ocarina of Time. That's a little more dicey, I think, in terms of me releasing it, as opposed to just releasing individual dungeons that just so happen to be based off of each of the Zelda dungeons, but we'll see. We're gonna have fun with this regardless. I think one thing to think about is which dungeon is going to be the best fit for Dungeons and Dragons. I think the first three are going to work really well. Because the Great Deku Tree is pretty vertical. And that's uncommon for Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I think that'll be super fun. Dodongo's Cavern feels like it is the most traditional Zelda dungeon. It'll be interesting to like make a dungeon that kind of loops around on itself. Where you enter the first room, and then you go through one door and you come back around to that first room. You go through another door that's in that first room and you come back around. I think that'll be super fun. especially early on when the players can't necessarily fly. Unless you pick, like, Aarakocra can fly, I know that. And there's a couple others, I think, that have light. Like, I know one of the tieflings is able to fly. We'll see. And then Jabba Jabba's Belly, I just think it's going to be a fun dungeon to remake. The destiny of every world is always going to be based off of some lazy kid. It's just good storytelling. I finally woke up. It's Navi, everybody's favorite fairy. I think the real fun thing to do is to make Navi exist in every single dungeon. Always just give random hints and scream at the party. I think it's a good thing to do. Hello, Saria. Unfortunately, I'm here to just, to work on dungeons. I'm not here to, like, go through the stories of everything, so we're just gonna rush through everything. Oh boy, it's been a bit since I played a 64 Zelda game. I still remember how, luckily. I'm not gonna be confused at all. I think I can gain rubies like this. And... I'm glad I remember. Nothing here. Stop. Enter. I think in this instance, if you were to make a... Oh, there's the rock. I thought it went the other way. Oh no. I do like this as an encounter, actually. Of like having just kind of a loop that the players have to go through, and then a rock that just rolls through, and then will roll over them. I do like that, actually. I don't know if I'm making the in-between areas in all of this, but I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Because I really like that idea. I think that's fun. Let's see, do I have to equip them in this game? I do, I think. Equip. Hello, rock. I don't remember exactly how much money I need. We'll make it work. I'm also very fascinated by how I'm going to convert mini-bosses. Because some of the mini-bosses in this game would be really fun. Dark Link would be so much fun to design. I'm sure people have tried to figure out ways to, like, oh, a dark version of the party fight. I think it would be so much fun to design. It would be a little bit of a pain to... I don't know if it'd be a pain. It would be a challenge to... You'd almost have to create 12 stat blocks, one for each class. That's like a generic version of each one. Which would be neat. I think it'd be fun. Each one having their own way to kind of counter their counterpart. Like the wizard would get counterspell, because regardless whether it's done increasing by 1 or increasing by 2, they'll have counterspell available. And wizards just able to counterspell. or the fighter is capable of counterattacking. I don't need to look that way. Sorry, I have a goal. I'm pretty sure it's 40 for the shield. It is! My memory is good. Also doing Dead Hand. Dead Hand's a fight I really want to recreate in Dungeons and Dragons. That's kind of why I want to try to work the well in to everything. Just because the well is such a good atmospheric dungeon. I'm equipping a sword and shield, buddy. It is the Kiri sword. I'm good at my job. Okay, let's open the Great Deku Tree. Let's start at this. So I'm not sure I'm going to format everything. We'll kind of run through that. This is the test. We'll format. We'll figure out how to format things here. Kind of the theme of the Great Deku Tree, as I understand it, in terms of like how everything functions and how things look and the way the boss interacts with the dungeon, is that it's kind of this theme of rot and everything of nature being destroyed. I have enough courage to take this task, Great Deku Tree. Is the idea is that Ganondorf has poisoned the Great Deku Tree and put, I don't know if put in Goma is necessarily the word, but like Goma exists now to kill the Great Deku Tree. And that's the entire like theme of this dungeon, is you're climbing through the tree that is poisoned with an infestation, and you're having to deal with this infestation. So I definitely want to lean into that, of like, these spider-like creatures are in here to kill the Great Deku Tree. Hi, Navi. Okay. I want to look at this first room, because it is a vertical room. A very tall vertical room. That is, what? 1, 2, 3 floors tall? I'm gonna start writing stuff down. We're gonna start working this through. Theme of the Great Deku that infestation. I'm gonna worry about spelling later. Root in fully. The party must travel to roots of the tree of this in that first room, vertical. A hole, wrong hole, the center. Must be landed on, broken from a broken. Third. So that's actually the first instance of like the players can break this, right? Because later in the dungeon we see that you can break these with fire. So by all technicalities, the players should be able, if they have like Firebolt, or create flame, or any other fire ability, they should be able to burn away this cobweb. And skip... Oh, hi, Navi. And skip the other 2 floors. Which, in essence, I don't know if that's the worst. We'll go through this normally and see what we would miss out. Look at this wall, the vines are growing on it. I know, Navi. I know. I know. I know what I'm doing. It's okay. Anything in that direction? Just a left. So being able to see the web can use web features from other adventures, who has an AC vulnerability to fire. How it's damage to go down, but maybe there's a door. Can't stretch enough. That's fair. I like that. I think it's a good way to go about it. I definitely think giving it an AC and then vulnerability to fire damage is a good way to go about it. And possibly have it so it's like, if you've played Baldur's Gate, there is... I don't know if I like this in Dungeons & Dragons as a tabletop game, but there's like the sturdy system where like you have to deal a certain amount of damage to do any damage. And it's not a terrible way to go about this, and I don't think players would necessarily have a problem with it. It is a little... it does feel weird to, like, oh, this thing has a health pool, so everyone attacks it and it doesn't do anything because no one's doing enough damage. It's a little funky. Yeah, a damage threshold. Yeah, that's exactly the concept. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of damage thresholds, but it could be a way to have it either be fall damage or to do fall damage or fire damage as the ways to deal with this web. Question mark? What? Moving forward, a dungeon map. I also like the idea of giving out dungeon maps. I think that'd be neat. Like, have it exist in each dungeon where you get a map and you get to know the layout of dungeon. That's not super common in Dungeons and Dragons, I don't think, where you just get the entire map of the dungeon. I also haven't done a lot of dungeon crawls in my games. It's mainly been just do dungeons. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Most of the time, we have to draw out the map ourselves when we're doing dungeons. This is what you would... I don't know the buttons on Switch. There we go. This is what you would miss out on if you went directly to the... directly down from the web, is you'd miss the clue of the kind of the only puzzle in this dungeon, I think. I also like the idea of these guys, treating these guys not as like a combat, but as a puzzle where you need to find some way to redirect its shot or some other way to hurt it when it pops up. And it's not a complicated puzzle, it's just hold action or in this case, shield. But then these guys give you hints about the dungeon. I like that. I think that's cool. We'll write that down as well. Food. Probes. That after hitting them, they provide hint or lore. I like that. I think it's a good system to include. Right. First item, I think is unnecessary for this dungeon. Because it's just a slingshot, it's a ranged weapon. Someone is likely going to take a ranged weapon. I guess, in theory, you could just include a slingshot in the off chance you were playing warfighters that, or players that just don't have ranged attacks. But I don't think it's necessary. A creature approaches within 30 feet or something, uses reaction to burrow or something like that. Yeah, I think so, where you have to be a certain distance away for it to try to shoot you. And it's hidden. That's the wrong item. That's not the item I wanted. I'm saving, apparently. Because the dungeon's not going to take too long, we might, like, spend some time afterwards designing some enemies. Because there's, 5 in total to make in this dungeon. Wall Skulltulas. I like the idea of them only having a climbing speed. And that they just exist on walls. And they're not, like, initiative enemies. They just exist. If you try to climb, they'll attack you. Because I don't think you have to roll initiative for every single enemy in this stuff. They just exist. They'll hurt you if you're on walls and you're nearby them. But otherwise, you don't have to worry about fighting them. I want you, though. So they'd be easy to make. So right now we have the Deku Babas, the Deku Scrubs, and the Wall Skulltulas to make. And then I think we run into number 4 with Skulltulas. How would we make that work? How do you make Skulltulas work? It could be that they just have a really high AC if you're attacking from the front. They have a, like, average AC if they're from behind. That could work. I like this puzzle. This is a good one. On Deku Sticks. I also think in instances, because like later on there's a puzzle that involves using the web and fire. Wait, I didn't need to bring it over here. What am I doing? That was silly. I don't know why I did that. Compass! I don't know if you would include compass in dungeons like this. I definitely think people would appreciate a compass where it tells you where the items are. But does that fit a Dungeons and Dragons dungeon? I mean, yes, you know, it could if you wanted to. No reason why it shouldn't. That's a maybe. Whether we include maps and dungeons. Oh, we'd also have to make 2 variations of... Oh, gold sculptures. I don't know if I'd include them. I feel like I would include them as a feature. I don't know what you would do with them outside of, like... Or you just make them a currency, actually. Maybe. I'll have to think about whether gold sculptures fit or not. Maybe just include, like, a merchant that sells stuff, but you have to trade in gold sculpture tokens, maybe? That'd be cool. That'd be neat. Yeah, so far there has not been a room that I would consider initiative. And that's interesting. That I wouldn't, like, have an initiative fight. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, either. These are kind of meant to be, like... Is it a problem to have a dungeon where there's only one initiative combat? I guess not, if this is a level 1 dungeon. We're kind of meant to do it in one long rest. I don't think that's a problem. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to stop and write some stuff down in a second, because I didn't write anything about the other rooms. We'll take a look at the map too as well. Let's do that real quick. Okay, so 5 floors in total here. I missed a chest. Strange. Okay. Yeah, it's a short dungeon. It's not meant to be a long one either, I don't think. I think it being a dungeon where you go through in a one-session dungeon, really. I don't think it's a problem. Let's... You go up to the 2nd floor. Door open. Okay, we're good. I pressed way too many buttons. I did way too many things. Okay. Room. That has a puzzle. Or light a torch. Unlock door. I think that's an important section. I'll figure out how to draw out stuff too. This first stream, we're gonna try to figure out how we want to do this. Do. Have wall plus one lines up central room. I'm gonna leave. Include a map. Maybe compass? I'll have to decide how I feel about including a compass. After breaking web center, fall down water and include a torch, carrying puzzle, lead to next room. That way to showcase, well, you're not necessarily showcasing, people understand that fire and water don't function correctly together. But it includes a challenge of like, oh, I can't just jump in the water, I have to find the correct platform, maybe an acrobatics check, or other checks, depending on how everyone feels. But I think we're set from there. Yeah. Okay. Get the okay. Now something like this is interesting because Link cannot make this jump. So you'd have to try to space out the room where I would say most characters can't make this jump. But then also, I think if somehow a character is able to make the jump, because I think jump is a first level spell. They want to use up a first level spell to make it across. They could, and they'd skip some sections. I am not opposed to that. Up. Up. But doing something like this, that'd be fun. Especially at a first level. I have to remember, this is a first level dungeon. Things cannot be too wild. This is another one of these. Okay, so you wouldn't actually miss out on you wouldn't miss out on the answer to the puzzle if you do this. You would if you make the jump over. And you know? Okay, it's a little bit of social engineering with this, but if you give a dungeon map early on in the dungeon, it does incentivize the players to explore all the rooms. You know where a bunch of rooms are. And so the players are going to be like, hey, there might be cool stuff in these rooms up above. I know we can go down right away, but there's stuff above. So absolutely include the map. And that does make me think including the compass is a good idea. Because then it also tells the players what rooms to go in or stuff. And then if there is a room where there isn't a chest on it or like an item there, it could cause intrigue of like, why is this a room? Why is it included? What does this room mean? So it could also incentivize players to go into the rooms that aren't marked as having stuff in them. I think the map and the compass should stay included if we're going to try to convert Zelda dungeons into normal dungeons. I think that's my consensus on it. I think. Oh, this would be an interesting room. Oh, this one might require some thinking. How do you make this room exist in Dungeons & Dragons? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Okay, let's write this down. This one's gonna get me thinking. Okay. It's room filled. Sure, there's a better way to word that, but that's fine. A moving platform that goes from one side, other. There is a spiky trap that goes across the middle of the room and just the moving platform. So obviously, players have the option to try to jump over the spike trap, and if they fail, they take damage. I don't have a problem with that. Button, launcher, that when pressed, drains some of water in the pulls the platform down so it's safe. I like that. It is something where if the players don't want to engage in the puzzle, they don't have to, but they risk taking damage. I think that's fine. I think that's wonderful. And it's also an instance where the players could use up resources trying to make this puzzle work, or trying to subvert the puzzle. I think a big thing for me is that if there is a puzzle, the puzzle should not use up any resources to solve, necessarily. And if they want to subvert the puzzle, skip over it, they'll then have to use resources. So it's the decision to not deal with the puzzle most of the time. I think something like this could be implemented as well. I don't think I need to write it down. Next to the block. If I stand there, okay, I understand how to push a block, Navi. You're great, you're wonderful. I know how to push a block. I understand, it was the first Nintendo 64 game. I had to make sure people understood how to move in a 3D space. It's fine, I get it, I get it. Annoyed. Fine. Fine. This is just another fire puzzle. That's fine. Something that's trivial if you have a spellcaster, but if you don't have a spellcaster that can make flames, nothing wrong here. I think this is the first instance of an initiative encounter, and we're gonna fight it like I would if it was initiative. There are little spider guys up here. And if I walk into the center of the room, they fall, and then they attack you. I think this is the first instance of a combat that is a problem for the party. Where roll initiative and you have combat play out as normal. I think that's where the first combat plays out. I'm gonna write this down. After a room where there are 3 eggs on in the center on ceiling. I spelled ceiling way wrong. I'm so good at spelling. And if the party walks into the center of the room, 8 eggs fall hatch. I have no idea what these guys are actually called. Are they baby gomas? Bat. Is that what they'd be considered? I want to know what they're called, actually. Hello. These are Goma larvae. Cool, cool. This is where I think where you would attack, or you walk in the center room, all three fall, and you have a quick combat. Ow. Maybe keep the behavior too, where if you hit them once, they try to run away and defend themselves. And they just have the one attack. Okay. And including some stationary combat stuff as well. Could be neat. Oh, this room's interesting, because you can't... This one would be fun for a D&D combat dungeon specifically, because the players could probably break down this door in other ways besides a bomb. Perhaps surprise round if you fail the perception to spot them on the ceiling. Absolutely, yes. I'm writing that one down. That one's great. I love that idea. I found if entire message is being missed out on there. I'll look into that later. And if the party failed to notice egg on the... Boy, I can spell. I'm an I before E. Got that too. Yep. I know the English language. I think behind that rock room is a gold sculpture as well, so it's not like it's a vital thing that you miss out on. But and here we're building up to the final boss. This is where the players could skip if they think of some way to skip. I have a really interesting thing where players go on ahead, because technically this creates a way for players to get up. Oh! If you do manage to skip and only one character is able to get up here, they have a block they can push that lets everyone get up. I like that, actually. That's good. That should be included. Wait. Oh, that's also useful for the puzzle. If for some reason the party is able to jump this gap, but not cast a flame thing, they have a way to do this puzzle. But there's a big drop. Okay, 23 is number 1. This code is ingrained in my brain. 23 is number 1. I'll never be able to forget this. How'd you know our secret? Irritating. I like the idea of the final one also giving away giving away like the mechanic of the boss fight beforehand. I think it's cool, especially for a level 1 dungeon. It's cool for just the first dungeon of a video game too. I love the Great Deku Tree. It's a fantastic first dungeon. But before I go to Goma, I want to write some stuff down. Because rooms loop back around to first water, higher ledge, two web on the and lock. Let's. That gives easy travel. And down this. Okay. So for the time being, we have, for enemies, we have the 2 Deku Baba types. We have the Deku Scrubs. We have the Walchulas and the Skullchulas, and then the Goma Larva. So there's 6 enemies to make. And I think we'll try to make them today. After fighting Goma. We'll have 6 enemies and a boss to make for this dungeon. So I think it's fun. I think it'll be a fun thing to do in a bit. Oh, okay. More water. Scrubs. Busts. Certain order. Or to the boss. Wait, that's everything for there. Scrubs. Wait, out. Speak out a boss. Cool. Alright. Let's see how the Goma fight feels. See if we can create something out of it. I like this room as a boss room, actually. In Dungeons and Dragons. There's just 4 pillars that you can duck and hide around. Interesting. Yep. I definitely think we'd recreate the boss room if we were to do this. Hi, Goma. And she runs up. Actually, shouldn't try to rush through this fight. I should see all the stuff she can do. She has the 1 lunge attack. Her eye is open. And then she has this one where she lays eggs, right? Yeah. Oh, I like the idea of being able to... she lays 3 eggs. And then they're eggs for a turn. Nice. And so you have time to... Oh, I thought I hit her. This is the... It's interesting not trying to rush through this fight. You get to see way more. So she has a lunge attack that she does on the ground, and after getting hurt during the lunge attack, she goes to the ceiling. So there's phases. Oh, I missed. Darn. And then after you break the egg, she goes back to the game. Okay, I like that. Honestly, I think that could be a really fun fight. It's dynamic. It doesn't stay stationary. Kind of have two different phases of on the ground or on the ceiling. Interesting. I think that'd be really fun. Okay. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to real quick go use the restroom. I'm gonna go use the restroom, and then after that, I'm gonna come back, and we're gonna try to design the 6 enemies in the dungeon, as well as Goma, and then we'll call it a stream. A very successful first stream. It was very fun. Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back. Everyone get some water, get something to eat, go use the restroom. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Hello, I'm back. I'm now realizing this is a be right back stream from when I streamed on Twitch before. So yeah, here are all the things that the other channels that I have, because I specifically made one for Dungeons and Dragons because I wanted to make Dungeons and Dragons content. So you're welcome. You got lore from me today. I am actually D-Sonics. Oh no. Oh, wait. Oh, how do I want to do this? Are there... I have a question. Are there places where you can make monster stat blocks? Like that already have the template pre-made and stuff that I could use to stream right now? I think that's what I want to do right now. I'm gonna do... Oh, I think I might remember a place. Is it still a thing? Called Home Brewery. It is! Okay. I think that'll be how we do this. Hold on, hold on. I usually use D&D Beyond. Let's check out D&D Beyond as well. I haven't used D&D Beyond, and I feel like that might be more visually appealing. My homebrew. Patience. Oh no, there. That's the button. I want to create a monster. Create a monster. Okay. Ooh, okay. Let's pop this. Homebrew Builder can be pretty intense and D&D Beyond. I am fine with intense. I can handle some intensity. That's fine with me. We'll run with that then. I do. A window capture. And I think I already have one, but I'm looking. Add a display. That exists. One? I know. Okay, so that doesn't want to work. That's fine. You. Young, renew. Exactly what I wanted. Thank you. Alright. Do it like this. Put it right here. I think that's fine. One thing I will do though is we're gonna step out of this room. Just so we have music as opposed to thank you. The Great Deku Tree. Great Deku Tree, what's happening? I have in fact shown courage. And you know, I think, under the assumption that this is an entire adventure and not just individual dungeons being crafted, that the tree should die at the end as well. Spoiler alert if you haven't played Ocarina of Time. It's gonna happen in a couple of minutes. Because it's a good excuse to like, oh, we should need to go after this evil man now. Person who cursed the tree that we like. It's the reason why they do it in Ocarina of Time, because it's a good push to becoming a hero. And we get Zelda lore that I don't think it's been I don't think it's been retconned. I think this is still how the world was created in Zelda. Yeah, because Hylia comes after. Because Hylia is like a... Kind of like how Vecna is portrayed in Critical Role, where it's someone who ascends to godhood. I don't know if that's also Vecna's story in regular D&D. I don't know D&D lore too well. The thing that's how Hylia functions in Zelda is that she was just a person that kind of ascended to godhood. Or is revered as if she was a god. While this happens, I'm going to start the process of filling out the not super important enemy. I am also excited to design the Ganon fight. I think that'll be so much fun. Just the idea of having first like the Ganondorf fight, where you can find some way to do the tennis mechanic. Possibly make it where Ganondorf fires off like a radiant attack, and Ganondorf is not necessarily vulnerable to radiant, but radiant damage stuns him, and then allows the combat stuff to happen. And it has to bounce off of every single party member, so they have to have some way to smack back the light orb that Ganon shoots, and then everyone can go in. Maybe it's not even radiant damage, it's just an orb that does damage, but if it hits Ganondorf, it's a stun for a turn. That could be fun. Goodbye, Great Deku Tree. Goodbye. Bye, Great Deku Tree. Alright, we're gonna wait here. Let's make up some enemies. Okay, first one I want to make is the Deku Babas that exists. I will probably need to look up some other monsters in a bit to look up, because I'm not an expert in enemy balance design. So we're gonna make the concepts of everything, and then we'll check other monsters to see if it's balanced. Alright. Push for damage rolls. Where are all these steps? Ooh boy. I can see it being a little intense, but we'll go through this one by one, and it'll make sense. Okay. Alright, so I have it Deku Baba. First one we'll do is the passive one that doesn't like attack at all, it just exists, stays there, and does nothing. Do I even need to make that an enemy then? If it doesn't attack, it just exists. Maybe I go with the aggressive one first, actually. I'll figure out the passive one later off stream, probably. We'll do that. We'll do the aggressive one. Wait, so it's a plant. Cool. Subtype. I don't think it needs a subtype. Medium, because it is larger than Childlike, I think would be considered small. Not a swarm. Alignment, probably neutral. It just attacks the things nearby. Modified Twig Bite with 0 feet of movement? Probably. Let's look at Twig Bite. Let's see how well that fits. Challenge rating is exactly what I would want. These stats feel correct. A stealth skill, yeah, that make. These are probably just Twig Blights, honestly. And the damage is, yeah. Okay, so these are both Twig Blights then. Just one of them has 0 feet of movement, the other. Actually, can I do that then? Monster type. Are these beasts? Plants. Why did I say? Yeah, okay. Why did I think it'd be beasts? Plant. Oh my goodness, mouse. Please. Plant. Big blight. Great. Okay, honestly, so little would change mechanically. Maybe I just don't. Right here. We'll do. Click community folder. One moment as I change stuff. Please. I'll make a new one. What's a shortcut to make a new one? I'm trying to relearn Obsidian real quick. There we go. Entitled. Babas. Just big lights. So we don't even need to worry about those two. Okay. After that, after the Deku Babas was were the wall chulas. And that one, I don't think we're gonna find a good analogous enemy. That's where we make our own. These should be about as powerful as the Twig Blight Deku Baba stuff. Just only on walls, effectively. Alright, special trait name. The actual description of this, I would say, is Actually, he doesn't need a special trait. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me. Ignore me. I don't think it needs action, just needs melee attack. Like, let's look at a beast that is 1/8 challenge rating for stats and stuff. There's no beast named Twig. Makes sense. What's a good one to look at? Giant crab makes sense. Got plus some big minuses to the intelligence stats, or the mental ones. Decent stuff to that. What's the damage they say? D6? I think I'd make it a D4 still. Vultulas. Yeah. Boy. Action melee attack. Look at Blight, there are various Blight creatures. Let's look it up. Let's add that on. Let's look up the Blights. Curious. I don't know if they would all fit. There we go. Needle Blight, that sounds fun. Oh, it's a ranged one. That can do a ranged attack. 2d6, wow. It is a 1d4, I guess. That's a scary creature. For a level 1/4, 2d4 and 2d6, that's scary. I like that. Astral Blight? This is wild. Spelljammer. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, it has 1 hit point. It sheds light. I love that. That's adorable. This is beautiful. I love this creature. Art Draining Vine. 10-foot reach. That's melee. 1d6 radiant. Target is large or smaller. It is grappled. Tell the grappled end. Target takes 1d6 cold damage at the start of each turn. Oh my goodness. I like this guy too. I'm keeping these in mind. I don't know if any of them will necessarily fit, but I'm just enjoying getting to see these things. Oh, Tree Blights. I kind of know how they work. Yeah, motionless. Start combat advantage. DC, okay, yeah. Siege monster! That's cool! Oh, I love that. Those would be fun in a D&D campaign. Multi-attack, normal attack. Oh my goodness, wow. I forget how much damage monsters can do. Grasping Root. One creeper's not grappled. Has to, okay. Also, on a hit, they're grappled. Oh, that's an interesting mechanic. So, like, they reach it and then they grapple. And until the grapple ends, they take damage. Start of each turn. If you find a way to ungrapple them before that creature's turn comes up, they won't take damage. That's cool. What did you Twig Blight? Vine Blight. Probably just a stronger version, right? Oh, no, they can do the grapple stuff, too. It's interesting that all the Blights can grapple. That's fascinating. There's another grapple thing. Okay. Alright. We're gonna go back to this. I want to look for... This, okay. A bite. We're gonna take the stats of... We'll take the stats of a giant crab. That sounds right. It would be... This one, a +4 to hit, which makes sense. You're not trying to... +4 to hit. 5 feet. 1 target. Hit. 1... 2, which would mean the middle ground is 4, I believe. We'll say it's a bite, so this is... Real quick, I'm gonna change the title of the stream. That's cool. Okay. I don't know how to change the title of the stream, so we're not gonna change the title of the stream. That sounds good. Okay. Piercing damage. I want piercing. I swear I can. There we go. Don't have a range attack, that's fine. No special reaction. All true. On. All. Creatures. Climbing on. I'll make up more lore about them later. Not claimable. I'm bubble. Bonus action, no bonus action. No legendary or mythic, doesn't have a lair. Armor class. Let's make it the same as Giant Crab, that sounds fun. Giant Crab's armor class 15. Nope, it's gonna be 13. I've decided. Easy to hit. Passive perception is... Okay, we'll look at stats. I want these things to be killed by one attack. How much health does this guy have? 13? I disagree. It's gonna be... hit point die is D6, 2d6. So it's going to have 6 health. Strength score is gonna be a 13. Dex score is gonna be a 15. On is going to be a 0, so we'll make it 11 as well. Int score 3. Wisdom 3. Charisma 3. I want them to suck at all the saving throws that most of the spellcasters can do. Saving throw proficiencies, none. Damage adjustments, none. Condition immunities, prone. I will make them immune to prone. Their environments, they are in forests and mountains. Language, no override. No, that's fine. There was not a movement option here. This is basic information, though. That's fine. Armor class type. Passive perception is N minus... What is the 3? Yes, man. Right. Grey Monster. Right, languages, they're not gonna know any languages. Senses on special, skills on special, movement is important. Speed type. Climbing speed, we'll give him a 20-foot climbing speed. Oh! Oh. Does only have a... That's it. Waltula's made. Easy. Perfect. Great. That's safe, set in stone, we're great. Now, we'll move on to... It's not what I wanted. We'll move on to... making... Skulltula. Skulltula, I imagine, is... 1D... or 1/4 challenge rating. So not that much harder. Fun fact about me while I search for stuff, it's really gonna be fun when I eventually reach, the other Zelda games, and I have to play through Twilight Princess, because I have, pretty bad arachnophobia. And the Twilight Princess Skulltulas are terrifying. I hate them, and they make me want to not be here. That's just a fun fact about me that I thought I should share. And something to probably look forward to in having me squirm when it comes to Skulltulas in the future. Giant lizard. That feels right. Giant lizard feels right. Skulltulas don't really attack. Well, they have a spin attack. That could be interesting. Spin attack could be interesting. Alright, I got this stuff. That's fine with me. I guess I should give him other senses. Speaking, I can go into the, like, finer details on my own. I just want to get the basic ideas out of the way. Yeah, I like Giant Lizard stat block. We'll roll with that. Monster type is also a beast. No. Size. Guys are large, I think. Evil, challenge rating, and 4. Nope. And these guys will have a special attack that's like a... You missed a start? That is perfectly fine. So far, all we've done is we went through, Okay, I'll show off the notes I have while I work on making enemies. We touched the Great Deku Tree, and right now I'm making monsters while we're probably gonna just talk about everything else. So if you have anything about the Great Deku Tree you want to bring up, feel free to bring up. We'll talk about it. I have some notes. I also have some basic rules. We'll bring those up later. The main thing that when I go around to like actually making the Great Deku Tree is I want to kind of include more of like infestation stuff like that into like the way everything feels. We noted that the first cobweb in the center of the room is probably something that people could get past. And I think that's fine. They're not going to miss too much. We want to include the Deku Scrubs in some way, shape, or form to provide hints and be able to show off the puzzle that's at the end of the dungeon. I've decided I want to include the dungeon maps and compasses in every dungeon, purely because it's incentive to go around to all the other rooms. When the party knows where everything is, they are more likely to explore everything. If they know where the end goal is, they're either going to, like, beeline to the end, or they're going to take their time going through every single room. I think it's cool. And we have a bunch of other rooms. I'll leave these up on the screen for you to read at your own pace. While I continue, make some other monsters. Right now I'm making the Skulltulas. Action melee attack. Spin. It's a... What's the stats for you? We'll do strength, that's +4 as well. You agree map and compass should stay? Cool. I'm glad you agree. I think it's a good way to make it work. Skulltula's little spin attack reach should be 10 feet? That's really strong, actually. Having a sweeping attack already is going to be really strong. Not that... not that Skulltulas can move. You know what? It's not that big a deal. Yes, it's a little scary. It's a little spooky. But it's not that big a deal. Because you have to get up close when it does. Yeah, I think it's fine. We're gonna keep it at a 5-foot reach. And then, how many targets can it do? 8? 8. We're gonna say 8 targets. That is actually a word. 8 targets. Well, they do it then. Get it. Lots of people. Oh, something got downloaded. Some data just got downloaded on my Switch. I don't know what kind. We're gonna make it 2d4 plus 2 fine. The wizard's never gonna get up close. I'm not that worried about dealing that much damage. Average of 2d4 plus 2 is 6. That's a little scary still for a level 1 dungeon. I guess it implies they collect shredded parts, so great armor, shields, and parts. Great armor. I agree. I think you could probably work out creating like monster monster harvesting to create items and stuff. I think it'd be cool. I like that idea. I know oh, I don't know where it came from. My current D&D party is someone has a book that is all about harvesting monsters and using their parts for like potions and poisons and other magic item stuff. That's really cool. I really like it. So including mechanics like that in all the monsters I make would be fun. I'm more than down to do that. What? This will... I'm gonna say it's slashing. Yep, that's fine. No reactions. It will not be able to take opportunity attacks. Which is weird for a monster not be able to do opportunity attacks, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, armor class is the weird one. Armor class is strength. Monster character. Later. Keep doing it. Faster. Air. Face. Hard. Late. Sides. +4. I'll probably add it on special traits, actually. I'll add that in a second. I'm great at spelling. What? Old social. Wait, copy. Right. Ooh, that's great. Armor class. We're gonna say it has the same armor class as the Vulture of 12, and 16 when it's not. Ooh, it's gonna be a 10. Hey, about 10 passive perception. Alright, what's the health on these guys? I'm trying to think. The average damage of, like, a player character is gonna be, like, 8. And I want these guys to go down, like, 2 or 3 hits. I think 3d10 plus 2 is fine. Because then it's, 17 health. That's fine. We'll do 3d10 plus 2. Hit by count 3. D10. Average hit points is B. And 2. And 3. Wisdom. This one. 3. And no saving throw proficiencies. We will make these guys immune to prone as well, just so they can't be knocked down. But other than that, I'm cool with everything we have here. And we'll add... They don't have movement, actually. What are the movement types? Do they have them function the way I want? No. Okay, I'll figure that out off stream, I think. Oh, I want to make Skulltula movement work. Okay, we have Skulltulas. We have Deku Baba's done. Vultula, Skulltula. Then we need Deku Scrubs. We'll do Deku Scrubs next. Those are the interesting ones. These are fine. I don't think any of the Blights will fit the Deku Scrub perfectly. Maybe the Needle for Needles might work. That might be close enough. We'll take some of the stuff from Needle Blight, but it's gonna need more changing than more changing than the Deku Babas needed. But here we'll say I don't actually follow all the names. Oh, it's a type. These are plants. I love getting to add more plants to D&D. There's not a lot of plants. How many plants are there? Hold on. How many pages do we get? We get 4 pages of plants. Okay, okay. How many pages of, let's say, constructs are there? 10. We need more plants. Plants deserve more. Subtype, no. Deku Scrubs, they're small. No Swarm. Alignment is neutral. Challenge rating. They'll be 1/8, I think. They're not super difficult. Sure. I know you said 30 feet, Shadow Slipper. I almost want to make it 20. To have it be a little closer, because I don't think they're going to be in super close combat with other creatures. Maybe 15. Within 15 feet, they hide, and then they're invulnerable to all damage. I think it's what I'll do. Hide under. Oh. Oh. Scrub. That makes sense. Best part of homebrew. I would say they also burrow. Someone tries to shoot at them with a bow or slingshot even. Oh yeah, maybe. Maybe. I'm kind of torn a little bit. Because on one hand, like, I want it to be like, oh, you use the shield to reflect the attack and all that stuff, which I think could be cool. I also don't want to necessarily take away the idea of like, oh, I'll use my bow or my cantrip to shoot at the Dekus. I'm pretty sure you can also use like I think you can use the Deku nuts in game and knock them out of their location as well. Interesting. I'll keep thinking about that for a minute. We'll change that as we go. I'm not sold either way on that yet. If I can scrub. I'll change the wording on that in the future before I actually release any of this stuff. Now we have ranged house function. Oh, what do you call this? Shoot. Speed. Range, open attack. Do that. Open attack. We'll base it off the Needle Blight for how it works. I light from my screen. Thought very well about what I was doing. We're gonna copy the stats of these guys. We might make charisma higher though. These guys are adorable. The Deku Scrubs are adorable and deserve better charisma. So the charisma's gonna be higher. Okay. Let's edit the stats and stuff first, and we'll go back to the attacks. Armor class. 12, yeah, we'll keep things at 12. Everything's got an armor class of 12 in this dungeon. I think I'm deciding. Why? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna make it 1d8 plus 2, I think. Yeah. 1 d8, which is 4, so 6. It'd be easy to take them out. Shouldn't take effort. Average it. Maybe 6, half is 5, 7. So it's still possible to not, take out in one hit, but it's very likely. So the creature's hit points is the same, is less than creature's hit point being 1d8 plus 2, which is less than most creatures' attack, which would be 1d8 plus 3. Should theoretically kill it in one hit. 12! Is it 12's across the board? 12, 12, 13! Oh. Didn't score. These guys aren't that smart, but they're smarter than most things. We're gonna give it the intelligence of my current character. 6. No more charismatic. They're still gonna fail most charisma saves. Okay, we'll go back. There's a +1 to hit. +3. Like it. 30. Just 30. Target. It make it 1d6 plus 1 is the thing. Average or 5. 5 scary damage. Just the fact that wizards are so squished. Wizards and sorcerers have so little health. Doing any amount of damage scares me. Like 1d6 plus anything might take out a wizard in one hit. That's spooky. Reaction name. Right. Deku. Oops. Don't yell at me, YouTube, for saying that word. Hello! Hello, friend. We're currently making enemies. In fact, we're about to move on to the 2 Goma-related ones, which will be fun. No bonus actions. You don't get any bonus actions. I think. We're set. Yeah. I'll give these guys speed. We're gonna give the Deku Scrubs, the 20-foot movements, I think. They get safe. 8 monster. What did I do? What did I do wrong? What did I miss? Passive perception! Minus. Movements. Add a movement. We'll give them burrow speed of 20. Nope. Deku. Scrubs. Ooh. There we go. Ooh. And we'll give them normal walking speed 20 as well, because they can walk. 20. Still spelled it wrong. Wait. That's it for Deku Scrub. Save changes. Alright. Next up, we're making the Goma larva. These guys were more complicated. I think these guys should be the ones that are a little scarier to deal with. These guys will be the 1/2 challenge rating. We'll call these guys monstrosities. These were but make them monstrosities because they were like super evil. Size, they were small. Sound rating. It's very interesting making anything or designing things to be balanced on a party of 4, just because I play in a group that is a party of 6. My brain always goes over to like, there's gonna be 6 people attacking this thing. 3 HP is not enough. But I'm like, oh, it's 2 less combatants in combat. It's very different. We are straight up neutral. Special. We're gonna call these guys. And you know what? We're gonna use the number 3. If these are 5 pound filled at I think it's a cool idea. So whenever, specifically in the Goma fight, when she lays the eggs, everyone gets around to like deal with the eggs, and if not, it becomes larva, and they have to deal with those as extra combatants as well. I think it's cool. It gives the party plenty of time to deal with them, especially if you have a wizard that has magic missile. You can just go do, take all of them out. In fact, to ensure that magic missile is useful, magic missile always takes out the eggs. Alright, the Goma larva had 1 attack, which was the lunge attack. So we'll give them that. Okay, mouse. I like the thing I want to do. Hey, wave attack. Hi, Navi. How you doing? What are we doing, Navi? What do you have to say?
Listen.
The Great Deku Tree wanted us to go visit the princess at Hyrule Castle. Shouldn't we get going? No. We're on. Oh, Goma Larva. We want to look through Atrocities. Atrocity. Light 1. We want challenge rating 1/2. What do these guys got? Let's look at Actress. Oh, you have a effect one. I want that. Here, sir. That sounds like it might line up. Not really. Oh god, they drop? They fall on... That's cool. That's cool. A Warg. Wargmite. 46. Lot. 3 enemies with 46? That's scary. Because I'm specifically creating these enemies to be used in this specific scenario. So we'll run with it, actually. We'll keep everything challenge rating the same, so I'll just decrease the damage. In fact, maybe it's not a 1d4. Maybe it's a 1/4. Which feels weird. I also don't want these enemies to be super... to be super strong compared to everything. I want it to, like, all be kind of an even difficulty up to Goma. Light is 1. Okay, we'll do that. He will do that. Yeah, 1d8 seems fair. If all of these are kind of middled stats. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, they have 5d10 as their hit point thing? Jesus. We'll say that these guys... Every enemy naturally gets opportunity attacks, right? We may need to put somewhere for the Walchulus and Skullchulus they don't get opportunity attacks. Maybe, we'll figure it out. But they don't have any special reactions, so we'll do that. Offspring. Hopefully no one else is getting... Hopefully no one is losing their mind over hearing Kokiri Forest over and over. Above. Alright, that's it for now. It's fine. Bonus action. Alright. Armor class. Everything's got an armor class of 12. I've decided. It's a natural. Passive perception. Is gun. 6. Actually been setting it for Stream Deck test. It's been nice and chill. That's good. I'm glad it's been a chill time. And I am happy to provide a nice, relaxing place to be. Okay. So I'm designing this intentionally for this combat. I don't want them to have that much health. Take 2 strikes. We'll have like 12. Will be 2 and put modifier of 2. Average hit points would be strength score of 8, so it's a -1. A dex score of 12. No, of 10. Con score of 14, because that's a +2. Int score 3. Wisdom score 3. 3. Wisdom score 5. Because they're kind of cute. Give them efficiencies. No. Forced. Make the attack. I did, sort of. Right. I'll be a +3 to hit. A 10-foot reach. But he's scary. It is a lunge, so it's fine. Should it be 10 feet? No, it should be 5 feet. It just, they move and then strike. That's fine. On target. Out more. Crit. It's a +2. It's just 1d. Scary, but it's fine. What did they say the average? 4. Oh, so they round down. Interesting. I didn't know that. Will be bludgeoning. Cool. I spelling Goma wrong? I am. Something about it felt wrong. Goma's the one I'm excited to make. These guys just generic enemies, they deal damage, they're fine, it's whatever. But making Goma's gonna be fun. That's cool. Monster created. Movement. These guys are gonna have... We'll give them 30 feet of walking speed. Alright. The fun one is Goma. Now, one thing I have to think about, the fact that Goma like, we fight Goma and Ocarina of Time as one dude. I am assuming that it'll be 4 people fighting Goma in Dungeons and Dragons. I wonder if Goma gets one legendary action at the start of combat where she gets to lay 3 of the eggs immediately. That way, she gets a chance to do something on her first turn of hurting someone, and then from there, combat acts normally. So either they all focus Goma and we get 3 Goma larvae, or resources are used to deal with the eggs, and then Goma gets to go off a little bit. I think that makes sense. And it kind of points out, like, hey, it's first level, but the bosses will be bosses, and they will be tougher than other stuff you fought. And it's not a crazy legendary action either. It just happens at the start. I think we'll do that. I think that seems fair. Well, that's right, the eye laser. I didn't run into the eye laser during the fight, so I forgot. Okay. I'll stay with the eye laser then as well. Because okay, eye laser changes things. Because I had been thinking in my head that it's a back and forth of like, lay eggs, the egg stuff happens, and then she comes back down and attacks, and then they get a chance to hurt her. But with the eye laser, she's able to stay up in the air. Okay, yeah, no. Then we're good. I am much more confident in Goma as a combat then, with the eye laser. Alright, let's make Goma. Maybe it's not a... No, a layer action wouldn't make sense. It'd be a legendary action. Okay. Oh, monster type. She'll be a monstrosity as well. Size large. Alignment. Neutrally. Challenge rating. I'm gonna base her on challenge rating 1, but I don't know if that's actually what she would end up being. Entirely 5 or 6. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, just like this. That's how they write it. Cool. And my question that I didn't even ask has been answered. Alright. I think this makes sense. For stats and stuff. We'll call it a bite as well. The damage seems fair. This will adjust the damage and stuff because it's inadequate. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. But let's give her the stats real quick before I do anything else. Armor class 14 feels fair to have the first one that's... Whoa. That's different. What's that see? 13, that makes sense. Actually, higher dex. On 14, fair. Intelligence, yep. Only 4. We'll give you a 3. Everything in this place is stupid. We'll give you a decent. Well. Charisma score. You are queen, so we'll give you a... And... Oh no. My brain completely lost track of itself. Three different options. Eggs. Oma. Her turn. Oma. Action melee attack. We'll call it a bite. It is a +6 to okay. +6. I can math. Hit. A reach is 5 feet. Goes after one target. It deals. Did they say D8? They agree with D8. Four. And it'll be piercing damage. Oh my goodness, mouse. Piercing damage. Action range attack is eye laser. Whoa. Eye laser. They do. What? Please be saved. No. Well, some stuff saved. The stuff it wrote didn't stay. Anything else? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Action melee attack is a bite. Hit. On target. Whoa. What I do? Piercing damage. Eye laser. What do we base this off of? That wise, we base it off of wisdom. Do we? Because it goes, it sweeps, right? It's not just a. I guess it is a. I need to see the eye laser. Right? You don't use the eye laser in this fight. Hi, Zelda Dungeon. They don't show the laser either. Okay, I'm just going to assume it's a one target hit. Make it based off of the wisdom. 3 to hit. 30. Range 60 feet. No disadvantage though. Okay. Alright. Up there, it's a laser. I don't want it to be too oppressive. Maybe it's still 1d8, but now it's a +1. It'll be a 5 damage. Oh, what damage type would it be? For a... Trying to think of what it would be. It wouldn't be piercing, bludgeoning, slashing. Cold wouldn't make sense. Fire wouldn't make sense. Blaze that sweeps across the ground, so maybe a deck save. Taking no damage to success. You know what? I like that. I like that better. I think we'll do that. So it would be range weapon attack, +3 to hit, range. It would be deck save. I want to look up how they rate it. Oh! There's that. Okay. Button. If fire for the burning part, or force just for the hit. I think we'd go with fire, just because there's a chance that one players could use like absorb elements, I believe, whenever they take fire damage, and then there's a couple like tieflings are resistant to fire damage. Something that like the resistance or spells can be used for between force and fire. So we'll do fire. How do they read it? Okay, so be... We'll do... But... I don't even do the ranged weapon attack. Okay. Oma. Laser from her eye. For us. Room. In a... We're gonna do a 20-foot line. Because it could... we'll do a 30-foot line. Foot line. Because then it has a likelihood to hit possibility to hit everyone, but if they've scattered enough, they might only be able to hit 2. They want the eye laser to be scary, but I don't want it to be like, oh my goodness, I just TPK'd. Kind of thing. In that line. Arid. How do they write it? Word it. Make a DC blah, 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 saving throw. Making this much. Okay. Make a DC. I like 12. 12 seems fair for level 1 characters. We'll do DC 12. Oh, dexterity saving throw. They word it. Must make a DC 12 dexterity saving throw. How do they word cantrips? Because that would be how I want to word that'd be how I want to word this dexterity saving throw to ensure it's consistent with how take 0 damage. See dexterity saving throw or take. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I want to make sure. Or take. That will, yeah. Could be. Make sure this is in line with it. Or take, blah, blah, blah. Or take. What's damage? 2d6? Because the average of that would be 6. That's a little scary for wizards, sorcerers, but should be fine. It's a big thing, you don't get it all the time, 2d6. Also specifically wording each creature and not just each enemy. Because I kind of want the eye laser to hurt the Goma larva. I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be funny if it happens. But no special that. I'll write out more of a description off stream. Because I think I want to keep some stuff for like a video if I make one. When I make one. Going to make a video. I'm promising myself that I will get through the process of making a video and putting it out. Bonus action, nothing. Legendary. We will do one legendary. What did I say? How legendary actions work. I need to check. I need to check the wagon for their legendary actions. I want to know how they word it. I can take 3 legendary actions, choosing the options below. Only one extra option used at the same time. I can regain legendary start of this turn. Okay. Maybe it's not a legendary action. Maybe it's an ability. Or at the start of combat, he gets to lay its egg. So maybe it's not a legendary action. Maybe it's up here. It could be... Oh, it's a special trait. That would be what it is. What would we call it? It would be... My brain immediately goes to backup children, which is hilarious. I'm gonna write it for now. It might, probably will change. Children. Oh my goodness. Way bold. All I want. That. Of combat. It's eggs. Action. Action or that's it. I think that's good. Oh, hit points. Hit points. Okay. I also have to add the eye mechanic. Stunning her. So. Because of the stun, I want to give her a lot of hit points. Because there is a way to stun her and do a lot of damage for a turn. The stun condition is auto crit and melee, right? No, it's not. Okay. Paralyzed is, right? Yeah, that's right. That's why Stunning Strike isn't, like, horrifying, just really good. Okay. Just... What does... Challenge rating 1 creature have for... there. It's 34? That enough to survive 4 creatures? What's the... Oh, you know what we're gonna use? We're gonna use the encounters. So you can see me making encounters for a 6-person party. Reset. 4 level 1 characters. Beautiful. Exactly what I want. Okay. I just want to challenge rating of level 1. Level 1. It's a medium encounter if it's the health level 1. What if it deadly? Okay, I don't want it deadly, but the damage is deadly, not the health, and they have the ability to only 52. We're gonna put it around 40, I think. Because every turn, the party's going to be able to do around like 20 damage. And because of the larva, 3 attacks will be used up. I think it'll be good. I think around 45 hit points will be fine. We'll do 8d10. Add up to 40. Modifier of 5. Average hit points should be. That should be fine. And then we add use target target if player attack how would you word that? Because you're trying to hit, because the AC goes up by whatever number I decide. But if the player misses the eye but would have hit Goma with the attack, they just deal normal. Word that. If so, player makes an attack as regular. Is a weak point with AC of. We'll give it a +3. Why not? 18 or +4. I have half for 3. That is a beautiful way to say it. That's what we're doing. I'm looking up the cover rules real quick now. I want to know exactly what the math is. Like the yawn, thank you. Thank you, Shadow Slipper. That's exactly the way I'd want to word that. Cover. Half is +2. 3/4 is +5. We'll do 3/4 actually. Just because a 19 to hit a weak point isn't crazy for level 1s, I don't think. Because you assume they have a +4 if they built up with a point buy. They have a +4 plus proficiency is +6. Having a lower chance to hit the eyeball, but still a decent chance. Okay, yeah. We'll do 3/4 cover. Okay. Wait. Eyeball. Quarters. Cover. If attack against eye is eyes a would have coma heal say that after if eyeball hit coma not a knock prone is fun if the attack against the eye misses, the eye's AC would have hit Goma without the AC bonus to deal damage like Goma. I think I like that. I think it's good. I think I'm happy with this. Only other thing is to add movement. I think we give a fly and climbing speed of 40. I think it should be faster than most of the party. I think that's what we'll do. Well, maybe we give her spider climb. Give spider climb. The one creature of spider climb. More. How's okay? These guys. Where is it? What was I looking for? I was looking here. No, I wasn't. I don't know what I was doing. I'm gonna look away now. We'll just say yes. I mean, speed. Oh, wait. So we have done all of the basic work to create the Great Deku Tree in Dungeons and Dragons. I think I still have, because I would still like to sit down and draw out the map. I would like to actually put in the encounters, and maybe that's just a separate stream. Where I sit down and I build the map out itself. I build out the encounters, I write down the stuff for the room, put the enemies in, and that'll just be a separate stream. I think that's a good idea, because I'm starting to get... My voice is starting to die on me. I think 3 hours is a decent length for a stream. I'll have to figure out a schedule now. Because this was super fun, and I want to keep doing this, because this was so fun. But I'm going to leave this here for now. I very much appreciate everyone that stopped by and said hi and talked with me about this. We will be back to doing this. I'll make other announcements and shorts and community posts and whatnot. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever it is for you. I'm going to disappear and let my voice have a rest and exist with my family for a bit. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.